Hi, I'm Guy Leech. In this video today we're going to learn how to paddle a kayak correctly. Right through from how you sit in a kayak with the right posture and position, through to taking the paddle and taking a great stroke. We're going to work on the entry into the water, the exit, how to lift the paddle up in the correct possible way, and also using the big muscles, how to make the kayak go forward, not using your arms but the big muscles to propel the kayak forward. All in all, giving you a great experience when you jump on a kayak in the ocean or in the harbour behind us here.
How do you hold your paddle? You don't want your hands too close together. You don't want your hands too far apart. The idea, stick it on your head and try and get a 90-degree angle through your arms. Once you've found it, a lot of people tape it, but that's the position you want. The shape of a paddle is like a spoon. You want the lip at the top and the flat section at the bottom. The blades are offset, which means one blade is at a different angle to the other. If you keep your hands firm, it's not going to go in the water properly. So you've got to keep one firm and one loose. Most of us are right-handed, so the right hand will be firm and the left one will swivel. So it swivels around and faces up for the next catch. Seating position. When you get into your kayak, you want to be comfortable. You don't want your knees up too high or out too far. The way to find that position is use your fist underneath your knees. So you want to sit up straight but slightly forward, not too far back because you'll be off balance, not too far forward because it restricts your breathing. So just up, comfortable, so the air goes in and out easily.
Okay, we've spoken about the correct position and the posture in the kayak and also how you hold the paddle. The next thing we're going to talk about is the catch and how you take the stroke with the paddle. Now the first thing to think about is actually the arm forward being straight. And what that does, you need to have your shoulder forward and the arm straight and actually have the backhand up high enough so you can get the end of the paddle in first. Not the side, but the tip of the paddle in first. And the only way you can do that is to get an angle with the shaft up a bit higher. So you need to look at your top hand being at about the same height as your head. Now you've got your shoulder forward and your arm is straight. Now the first movement that you want is like a spearing motion. You want to spear the end of the paddle into the water and you want to send it in so that the whole scoop goes in right down to the end and you bury it up to the end of the start of the shaft. By doing that, you're giving yourself the best chance to lock yourself in and pull as much water back as you can. So the action is spearing into the water and dropping the blade in to the start of the shaft. Now the movement now is you've got your shoulder forward, your arm straight. The first thing you want to do is try to pull the shoulder back with keeping this arm straight, and what you're doing then is you're using your big muscles. You're not just using your arms, but you're using back and your side muscles, your lats. And they're bigger muscles than your arms, and they'll make the kayak go forward at a much faster rate and mean that your arms, which are smaller muscles, don't fatigue too quickly. So the action is arms straight, shoulders forward. You spear the paddle into the water so that the whole blade goes down underneath the water, and the first movement is that. And you are pulling back with a straight arm and moving the shoulder back that way as the other shoulder comes forward.
In paddling, we talk about the catch. the most powerful part of your stroke. It's where you put the blade in, it's submerged, and you lock your body onto it. Once it's locked on and you're rotating around, you follow the blade down the side of your boat. Don't try and bring it too close or too far away. You just follow it where it wants to go. The biggest thing you've got to be aware of, not to bring the blade past your hip. Once it's past your hip, it acts as a brake. So it'll slow you down. And also, it'll mean that you're off balance.
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is rotation. And what we're talking about with rotation is how we use our big muscles, being our lats and our back, to make the kayak move forward. Now, our arms are just a lever for our big muscles, our back muscles and our lats. Now, the first thing we've got to think about when we start using our big muscles with the stroke is to actually get our shoulder forward and set up in a paddling position like this. Now, what we're actually doing as well is we're actually coiling and using our big muscles by turning them and pivoting them around our spine, so that with the position, the paddle, think the paddle's in front of me like this. We have turned our chest and our stomach away from the stroke, all right? So we've coiled ourselves like a spring, ready to go and drop the paddle in and turn our big muscles back the other way. That's going to utilize our big muscles, and that's going to make the kayak go forward. So we've got our shoulder forward. I've twisted and turned. My chest is facing out this way. I'm feeling tension through my stomach, and I'm ready to go and drop the paddle in and explode back the other way and use the big muscles that I've got here, and my arms are just a lever. So if you think about the arms going in, dropping in like a spear into the water, we've dropped the paddle right in. I have twisted and turned my chest and my stomach around away from the actual paddle going in, and then when I go and put it in and pull it back, you'll see my chest and my stomach turning and going over to the other side. Now my chest is facing this way, my stomach is facing this way, and I have now used my lats and my back to propel the kayak forward. One of the great things about paddling is what it does for you physically. Literally, from the hips up, you're utilizing every muscle in your body. Right from your arms, we were talking about before, as levers for your big muscles, being your lats and your back. You're working all that area. Obviously the shoulders as well. But let's talk about your stomach. You're working your stomach. When you twist and turn with your stroke, you're working all the muscles at the front. Because you're having to stabilize on a kayak and balance, it means that the core strength muscles come into it, and you're protecting your lower back and your stomach and trying to work that area at the same time. So all in all, it's just a fabulous way of working your whole upper body.